platform is literally called New IQ, NUIQ, which will have electrics as well as hybrids in there, and this could actually go electric or hybrid. You can see the New IQ badging right there. You can see the typical Thar elements like those exposed hinges, that big door handle, and because this is a concept, they have also taken some bold steps, like you see the cameras for the rear view mirrors. So that is something that we see here, and then that big black applique, I think that will become a design element going forward for the Thar, and that sort of adds a floating roof effect, at least to the front. And then you have again a cut-off edge or a chamfered off edge towards the rear, because like I said, this is going to be a very hardcore rendition of what the Thar, the future Thar could be, and this could coexist with the Thar. This might be something that will coexist with the future generations of the Thar. So we'll need some clarity on that, but like I said, I think the big news here is that it might go hybrid and electric. So at the tail, you again see vertical elements, and then you see these horizontal appliques applied right here, and then this big matte finish panel that you see there, and 2 tires at the back. So I'm guessing they will do like they did with the Thar, an open top version or a convertible version, as well as a hard top version. Then for the rear, we see that the door handle has been nicely hidden into the C-pillar, and then you get that sharp C-pillar that you see there, and a little footstep here for you to climb onto the rear and load your luggage, load your tires or whatever. So they have nicely strapped these on over here. Quite a hardcore thing that we see here. And now looking at the overall tail design, this is what it's going to look like. Again, like I said, great approach and departure angles, awesome breakover angles as well. That is what they're targeting. Another footstep right here. And then this is the squared off wheel arch that we're talking about. So you also see this little addition right here to prevent the muck from getting onto the tail lights. So all those kind of things have been thought of. So knowing Pratap Bose, he loves to put his concepts into production in a near ready form, right? Or it almost looks like a concept. We've seen that in his previous gigs as well. We saw that with the likes of the BE6, etc. So I'm guessing a lot of this is going to be carried forward over to the production vehicle as well. You also see that big side step over there. And like I said, this might just be an electric. We've already seen an electric G-Class, so why not an electric Thar? They might just do that. Now, we are not allowed to really go inside, but you can see the grab handles right there on the A-pillars, on both the A-pillars. And then you're looking at an infotainment and instrumentation package that's completely digital. And again, very similar to what we have seen on the production Thar already. And the steering wheel, again, very similar to what we've seen on the new Born Electrics or the BE range of Mahindra vehicles. So that is what we see on the inside. And if you look over to the rear, you are again only seeing 2 headrests up there. So they are going to pitch it, I think, as a 4-seater like we saw with the Jimny. So they might look at something like that, but they have gone to town talking about how the legroom, even for the second row passengers, even in something as hardcore as this, is going to be class leading, and it's going to be better than some of the rivals in this size and space. You will see grab handles even on the B pillar. I hope the camera is able to pick that up, and you can see that. You'll see those grab handles even on the B pillar. So the headroom also seems pretty decent. If you look at the size of those headrests or the position of the headrest, the front headrest, and you look at the roof where it's standing right now, I think the headroom is also going to be pretty decent. And when you look up top, you will again see that that roof extends all the way back, and then you see those high mounted stop lamps up there, and that is again a design element that we might just see on the production vehicle as well. You will see a lot of cladding. I think it's all very nicely executed. So let me know your thoughts about this one. And I think we can now quickly just jump over to the other one, which is going to be the slightly more road biased version, let's put it that way, or the slightly more friendlier version, not as hardcore as this. But there are some interesting elements that I see in the front, so let's also take a look at those before we move to the other vehicle. So you will also see these bonnet clamps right here, and those wipers look pretty ready, typical what you find, very basic wipers for off-road use. So all those elements I think are going to translate very quickly into production form, and I think this might just look quite gorgeous. But let me know your thoughts on what you think the Vision SXT looks like.